Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to show you guys some demo solves using the beginner's method that I taught last video. Now, why this is being a video is because some concepts may have been a little bit confusing. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a scramble, and I'm going to you're supposed to pause the video, scramble along, and then come back. Now, after you come back, I'm going to solve the scramble using the method, and you might pick up some new concepts that you didn't learn last video. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is solve 1, and the scramble will be displayed above. Make sure you scramble with white top, green front, and without further ado, let's get started. So first, we want to fix up this edge. Now this isn't very hard, we can just move it over so they match, and move it down. Now we have this one that just so happens to be solved, move it down, and this one isn't hard either. We can move it over, move it down. This one is a little bit trickier. We can move it to the top, move it over, and move this piece down so that they match, move it over, and push this back. Next, we want to solve the edges. I see this one. You can do any other corner, I suppose, but it's best you follow along because this is a demo solve. And you put it in first and then take it out so that it's fixed. Now we insert this by lifting this slot, putting it in, and then put the slot back down. Now I see this corner, and we can solve it like this. Lift the slot up, move it in, put the slot back down. And I suppose we can do this corner next. We first take it out because it's not in the right orientation, and then put it back in. Perfect. Now we want to insert these edges. Now I'm not going to talk about the algorithm nor display it, but if you want to learn this algorithm, you can go visit my previous video about how to solve the cube using the beginner's method, which is going to be down in the description. Now to insert this edge, we do the algorithm. And these two edges are a little bit of a annoying thing because you have to replace this first edge with something first. So take it out, and then use the algorithm to put this edge in. And that's going to automatically squeeze this edge out, and we can insert this edge on the other side. And now we have the L case, and we can do this algorithm, F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Now we have the I case, we do the same algorithm. And perfect. Now we just need to make sure the edges match up, which they obviously don't right now. We want to make sure we can find two that are the same, which are right here. Put those in this position and do another algorithm. And now they should match. Now the next step is to orient the corners. Now we want to turn the white side up and do this algorithm. And now that this one's solved, move it over to an unsolved one. And finally, this one's also unsolved. And the top should be solved, and the bottom should be solved too. Match up the edges. Now we want to take one out, so this red one. Good. We want to replace this right here. Now this corner should go back here where we have the red and blue. And now finally this corner goes in here because their colors match. And there you have it. The cube is solved. Next, scramble. Okay, and this cross is not too hard. I see this blue piece, which I can just turn down like this and it will match. You see this green, move it over, and there you go, it matches. This orange, move it over, move it down, it matches. And finally this red. This is another insert that I taught, so like that, and it will match. Next step, insert the corners. I see this corner that can go into here. Now I'll use my left hand because it's easier. There you go, we have this corner inserted. Next step, we have this corner, and I'm inserting some of the edges too, which is great. And there you go. And next, we have this corner that goes into here. That's amazing. And finally, we have this corner, which we have to take out first. But this is actually another key point that I forgot to mention. You have to be careful of which way you take out the corner. For example, I have this corner right here. You don't want to take it out like this, because if you do, well, I'm gonna have to insert it again and take it out again, which nobody wants to do. So we want to make sure we take it out like this. That way, so use your other hand basically. That way it'll insert like this and lift it up, move it over, put it down. Simply like that. Next, we have this edge. Go ahead and insert that. And finally, we have this edge. Go ahead and insert it like that. Next, we have this little dot, which means we have to do the algorithm 3 times. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Turn it so that it's in the right orientation to do the next algorithm. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And finally, F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Perfect. Now, it just so happens that the edges are solved. We now need to work on the corners. So, we turn it over so that the white is facing up. Do R, U, R prime, U prime again. Wait until this corner is solved. Keep on repeating it. And then next we do this corner. Nice. Move it over to do this corner. And finally this corner. Perfect. And now we want to match up the edges again and do the corners. Start with this one, move it up, move it over so I can insert it into correct position. Red, green, red. Insert that. We see orange and green. Orange and green is right here. Insert that. Orange and blue. Orange and blue is right here. Insert that. And there you go. That's the second demo solve. And this is example solve 3. Alrighty. Now this one's cross is pretty easy. Move this down so that it matches. Good. Move this over so that it matches. Oh, but before we do that, we want to insert this one, because if we insert this one first, this is going to be a little bit tricky. So we can just insert this one first and then insert this one. That's a pretty good tip. And if this one is stuck in here, one of the easiest ways is to replace it with some random other edge and, just insert it into that slot. And now we have this piece. Just insert it like this. Now we work on the corners. So something like this. Move it up, move it over, move it in. Have this one. Move it up, move it over, move it in. This one. Wow, this is pretty well set up. Move it up, move it over, move it in. And finally, this one. Move it in, move it out, move it over, and then move it in. So, something like that. Now we want to insert the edges, something like this. And insert this one like that. Now you want to replace this edge with something. Or here, let me just do this. And now insert this into here. And then insert this into here. Great. Now you want to align the corners or edges. And now keep on turning until we see at least 2 that are aligned. There we have it. And put those in that direction. Make sure we have these right here. Do this algorithm. Now that's great. We want to orient the corners now. Turn it so that the white face is facing up. Repeat R, U, R prime, U prime. Perfect. Now this is right. Turn it we'll turn the D face so that this is now facing you. Developing the algorithm, I'm just going a little bit faster because there's no need to show the algorithm in detail. I already did it a lot of times. And now the top should be solved. Turn it over, line the edges, and now we need to do the corners. So you want to move this corner out because that's not where it belongs. This corner belongs back here, so we're going to turn this side over and insert this corner. Now this corner belongs right here, so we're going to turn this side over, insert that, and this corner belongs here, so move it over and insert the corner. And there you go. That's the last example solved. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys next time.